The constant cycling in and out of new teachers makes the policymakers and researchers to investigate into the problem of teacher attrition. Out of many reasons for teacher attrition is the gap between theory and practice. New teachers find it difficult to translate and transform theoretical knowledge to their practice in the classroom. To address this problem, the teachHouston program of University of Houston has introduced inquiry-based learning in teaching science and math to aspiring teachers. The following video is a story of a classroom, a real classroom with aspiring teachers, and an enthusiastic yet calm facilitator who is determined to not only teach inquiry but let these aspiring teachers feel inquiry. It is a story about their journey together to learn physics by inquiry and bridge the gap between theory and practice.
Well, when I first was enrolled in this class, I wasn't excited because it had the word physics in it, and I had no background in physics. Three circuits that we use to help each other. So there was a big, when you work with groups, you have more diversity, so you have different ideas, so different analogies, so it helps you understand it better.
Building the circuits and actually putting voltmeters and measuring the current and voltage directly in the system.
Really with circuits, like you can apply different analogies. Like we talked about parallel circuits, and you can explain it as roadblocks, like different, resistance. So like if a path has more resistance, it's more likely to go through the path with least resistance. Just like on a freeway, if there's a lot of traffic on this road, you want to go the other road, and we're able to see that through circuits.
The most frustrating thing was taking these misconceptions that I had deep-seated in my head that were just true. I mean, they were law, they were religion, and to convince myself otherwise by seeing that that's just not how it was.
Misconceptions, research shows that misconceptions are very difficult to give up. Found actually that our physics majors and minors had a lot of misconceptions, and they just wanted to hold on to them. And so they would kind of just discover what they wanted, whatever fit into their own mental model. And so that took a lot of undoing.
With batteries and electricity and stuff like that. And that was real frustrating, trying to figure out exactly where the currents go and stuff like that. So I was getting like kind of frustrated, not understanding how to do it.
You really have to think. you feel intimate. You know that you're connected, not that you're separated from or intimidated by. You're not having to live up to anything but yourself. I don't know, she's amazing. She can do that, where she can not answer you and just tilt her head to the side, and it has this like, not even that Mona Lisa smile of hers, where you don't know what it is exactly she's expecting to come from you, but you know you gotta keep giving and giving until finally you come to something. And even then, once you've done it, she'll just ask you another question, and you're left there again with like, oh my, what? Now you have to do it. You have to go down that same path again of discovery and start all over again. It's never ending, and she's perfect at it. She with such ease. When I go to a classroom, I want to make sure that I'm asking questions that make them think. I want to make sure that they don't cop out on their answers too. That they give a complete answer, and that they're confident in their answers, that they want to answer. Because when a student, when you hear a student answer and they're meek and they're not quite sure of the answer, and I like to say, okay, now everybody just like that now, and with confidence, and and like get them to all say it together, and so you're just like, no, you're right now, come on, let's hear it again. Now for everyone, and
My students, when we do things in class, the best that they do on the test are things they do themselves. When they will have them create their own project, kind of how we did in Dr. Emmons' class, that's when they do the best.
Inquiry course, I was able to actually discover the principles, develop a mental model. I was able to actually derive these equations through basically common sense.
In the inquiry-based learning, the students experience something and then they develop their mental models based upon that experience. From that inquiry, they can formulate some conclusions.
Yeah, it completely changed my views on physics because I got to discover it on my own. It wasn't all this, abstract stuff that you learn in your different lectures or anything. It was something that you can experiment on your own.